Yeah, good morning, Karen. Good morning, Steve. Thanks for having me. First, the trend is driven actually by innovation and not so much by politics. PV is, in the meantime, something that is affordable and economic without subsidies. And therefore, the energy transition, the trend for actually installing more renewables is self-propelling. And the self-propelling renewable drive also means that we have more need for infrastructure, because the infrastructure is where it all happens. And this is what is driving the investment demand that we are actually fulfilling. So we have delivered this year, or last year, 24, 7.5 billion, up 1 billion versus 2023. And we are planning for 25, another billion. So our growth case is intact. And we can actually deliver against that growth case because we have shown that we are an operator who always delivers the numbers that we are promising before, as we have done in 2024.
Leonhard, let me drag some politics into the mix. We've just had a German election. It seems like you're holding CapEx hostage here unless there are regulatory changes. You're saying we're only investing more if regulatory improvements materialize. What changes do you need to see before you deploy more CapEx?
Real changes that we need to see is for the next regulatory period, which is starting in 2029 in Germany, which is the largest market for us. And what we need is a regulation, a package of a regulation that allows us to attract private capital to be deployed in the energy infrastructure. And for that, we actually just need overall a higher remuneration that we have seen in the past. And this is what we are currently discussing with the regulator. But to be very clear, the growth case until 2028 is based on the existing regulation, and that one is independent of the discussion that we are having right now for the regulatory periods starting afterwards.
Leonhard, this is a conversation I've had, and Karen, of course, and you, with so many German businessmen and women. We can't afford to muck around anymore. It's not even about politics. It's about security. It's about competition. It's about having reliable, cheap energy across the grid in Germany and Europe as well. Is now the time, Leonhard, that actually European leaders, whether it be von der Leyen, whether it be Merz, are really going to get the message?
I guess you're actually pointing in the right direction. It's clear that we need to get our act together in Europe, in Germany as the largest market of Europe, but then overall in Europe, because only as Europe do we have really a future in this world, which is right now developing. And for us at E.ON, that is actually an opportunity because infrastructure is a prerequisite for anything that we are aspiring. For security, we have seen that in Ukraine. For actually a cheaper energy, we are seeing that wherever we are lacking actually in energy infrastructure, nothing was as expensive as the lack of infrastructure in the last years. So I really believe Europe needs to change its course. The new Commission has said that competitiveness will be at the core of their politics. The new German government will certainly drive in the same direction. So I'm actually optimistic that this crisis that we are right now facing, in the end, will be a trigger towards a stronger Europe.
I love the German language, sir, and I love learning new words, and I love the word Dunkelflaute, which came up last year in abundance, and I can't stop saying Dunkelflaute. It's such a good word, but it's a dangerous word as well. Have we got enough resilience in the system, sir, to avoid concerns that seem to be certainly coming from the other side of the Atlantic, that we're just creating a very fragile infrastructure?
We actually have the Dunkelflaute, which is not having enough energy at certain moments in time, like at the night when there is no wind, in the winter when demand is high. But we also have there's another German word, the Hellbrise, when we have too much actually, the sun is shining, the wind is blowing, and we actually have too much energy. But in reality, this all is the impact of having more renewables in the system. Renewables actually are not dispatchable, as we call it in industry. I mean, we have renewables whenever the sun shines and the wind blows. And therefore, we have much higher volatility. And what we need to build is a resilient system in which we manage this volatility. And to be also positive about this one, there is a business case in that, because if we can translate this volatility into something that people can monetize on, for example, by providing flexibility to the system, then this is even a way to lower the energy bills for our customers.
Leonhard, let me ask you about nuclear. There is a view that now the incoming government could remove the taboo around atomic energy. Do you think nuclear has a place in future in Germany?
No. Not for private investors. It's absolutely clear no private investor will ever invest again in nuclear in Germany.
Why is that? Because are you saying because of the change in government policy?
Yeah, but if you invest into nuclear, what you need is you don't need 4 years visibility on political support. You need 20, 30, 40 years of visibility on political support. And who believes, how could I, towards my investors, make the case, oh, the world has changed now, don't you worry, in Germany for the next 25 years, everybody is supportive of nuclear. So nobody is going to believe that after the experiences of the last 20 years. So the story for nuclear in Germany is over.
So you're saying Angela Merkel killed nuclear for good in Germany?
Yeah, Angela Merkel and the society which didn't resist. I think the point to maybe reopen that discussion was in 2014, 15, or maybe 16. But actually, certainly, it's not now. It's too late.
Leonhard,